Hi, this is Crystal from Crystallized Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to work the H on the Ho 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 Christmas series. Several patterns use this design, and I'm just showing you on the hat. And depending on which pattern you're working, the stitch count may be different, so don't use the stitch count that I'm using here as reference to whatever pattern you're working. This is basically to show you how to do this letter H in the white color that I'm using. I have pre-cut lengths here. I'm not using a pre-cut at the moment, but like normal tapestry crochet, you normally hold the two strands together, and I really didn't want this as bulky as the entire piece as bulky. So with only doing two strands held together for the letters, this is actually thicker than the rest of the piece, and that's normal. You could absolutely hold two strands together, but you're going to need the same amount of the letter color as the main color, plus whatever you need for the H in addition if you hold the strands together. I did not, and I'm going to show you how I did that working in the round. So I am on my last stitch, and I'm going to change colors here. And again, I'm not talking about the pattern because each in the series are slightly different. So I'm going to join my white, and what I'm going to do is for the next stitch I'm going to start the white, and I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop, and I'm going to work over. You can or don't have to work over the tail. Just for now, I'm not going to work over the tail, but I am going to work over the red, and I'm going to single crochet 2 for this pattern, working over the red. Whoops. And then I'm going to change colors. Make sure to keep that tension on so your stitches aren't loose. And then I'm going to do 2 in red, working over the white. And then I'm going to switch to white on my last pull through. And then I'm going to work 2 more in white and switch to red. I really like so keep your tension the way it should be. I really like working with pre-cut lengths and keeping my yarn organized, but for this tutorial I did not cut it. So I'm just going to quickly whip around, and then we'll pick up where the second row of the H. So just going to finish the pattern here. I'm using a stitch marker to mark the first stitch of my round, and I prefer to use locking stitch markers just because then they don't fall off when I am working. For this pattern, I'm just going to use a simple spiral stitch mark because it's easier to remove and put back on. And for the video, I just wanted to be real quick with making the rounds. I'm just showing you the H. So let me, oopsie, I'm already getting tangled. I really should have pre-cut this prior to starting this. We're going to try and keep them a little bit more organized. Again, I'm working in the back loop. Each of the Ho 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 Christmas series patterns will have a different stitch count, so don't use what I'm using right now as the pattern. So I'm just going to mark that first stitch of the round, and I'm not even going to count. Again, the pattern you might be doing is slightly different. Alright, so we're back to the H, and what we're going to do is we're going to change to white again, and we're going to try and keep these strands separate. I'm going to tuck my tail in there. Okay, so I'm going to very loosely pull my white through. Now I want it loose. I want it to go across these stitches because I'm going to end there, and I'm going to work over both the white and the red in the next 2 stitches. And with the red, make sure you keep your tension. And again, I'm working over the red and the white. I'm going to change my colors. Again, pull that tight. I'm going to work over both whites now. The second red, I'm going to change to the white. I love Charisma, but it is slippery. I'm going to work over the white and the red. And I'm going to work over the white. I'm going to catch the back of the white and the red, and I'm going to change back to red. And I've kept my colors separated here. And now I'm just going to run through. That is the second row of the H, and my tail is not woven in, so that might come a little bit loose, but that's that. You can see I'm working over the strands, so there's no strands hanging on the wrong side. I'm just going to quickly run through and get to the third row of the H. All right, so we are to the third row, and we're going to go straight across with the white. So I'm going to change colors to the white, and again, I'm going to very, very loosely snag it and pull through, keeping enough yarn to not pull too tight across these stitches. We don't want to bunch that up. We just want to loosely work over it. So again, I'm working over the red and the white, and I'm just going to go straight across in this third row. Again, this is just for the hat. If you're doing a different Ho 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 series pattern, it might be slightly different. The last stitch, if you pull too tight and you can't snag, see how my finger, if you can't snag that, that's fine. You don't have to snag that last one if you pulled it too tight, but if you did not, whoops, if you did not, you can always snag that one. Okay, so I'm going to switch to red again. I'm going to keep the tension, and then I'm just going to go around one more time. We'll do the next row, but then I think you got it. We are almost to the H. I'm using the stitch marker so I can work around continuously instead of joining. That way that this pattern doesn't have that seam line. And I really like being able to put the ho 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 on either side or in front. And that seam line really, really helps. Without that seam line, it really helps. All right, so we are to the fourth row round, but the fourth row of the H, and I'm on my last red stitch, and I'm going to change colors to my white, if I can. Oh no, okay, so what I did was I accidentally worked over my white, but again, I'm not going to redo the whole row. I'm just going to loosely pull that. I'm going to pull my red to keep my tension here. And I'm going to work over the red and the white. I'm pulling on that red to keep that same tension. And I'm just going to work two and then switch colors to the red. Pull on that white. I'm going to work two reds, switching to the white. Pull on the red. Working two white, switching to red, and then so that is the fourth row in the H, and in this pattern there's one more row the exact same, but I think you got the understanding of it. I'm just going to work over this accidental white that I worked into the pattern just to show you the back a little bit. I'm going to cut my white because I no longer need that attached. So on the inside, pardon my ends here, but that is what it looks like when I weave in my ends. I won't have any lines or anything, a little bit working up, but nothing major at all. And again, you can work over your tails if you wanted. I worked over my tail in the lower H. Yeah, so that is the back side of it, and that is the front side of it. And then after this is done, I'm going to add pom-poms from my Ho Ho Ho, and I hope you enjoyed this pattern. If you like this, definitely hit that subscribe button so you get notified whenever a video tutorial comes out, and thanks for watching. Bye.